Revolt is kind of like as a whole, it's like about collectively like releasing yourself from the like enslavement that your mind is under. Basically, when you turn on any television, you're just pounded with all this information, which is bullshit. Most of it's consumerism, like, you know, consumer-based capitalistic bullshit is what it is. And it's basically just about freeing your mind from all of that garbage that you're fed and thinking for yourself and like actually realizing what's actually happening on the planet and more or less thinking for yourself and making your own conclusions and not being afraid to be yourself and, you know, not living a front, just being yourself and nothing else. And that's basically what Revolt is about. Resist is kind of up in the air. I don't know where I'm going to go with it. I haven't written any lyrics for it yet. I kind of have the mindset of it, but, you know, it's basically just, we just wanted to write something different. It's a different style for us musically, and I think with these two EPs, we're more or less trying to raise awareness about what's happening and encourage people in the hardcore community, metal community, punk community to think and realize what's happening and hopefully come together and do something about it, or at least, you know, just spread the word about this is existing because of these people. Because, you know, every step towards truth is like a good step, you know. This record for us is like, this is who we are. You know, the other two are whatever. I mean, we still like some of those songs, but I feel like it's a better portrait of us as a band and as people. So we're stoked on these two EPs for sure. It's mostly like a progression of the mind for us. Like, when we started the band, we were 18, and we grew up in the South. So in the South of America, it's kind of pretty religious, and we were against that for a long time. And then, like, before we started the band, and then, like, you know, we kind of like we're in touch spiritually with this. We were kind of getting spiritual, and we didn't know what to connect it to. And the easiest thing for us to connect it to, like, was like Jesus Christ. So as a band, like, the first two records are pretty not really religious, but they are like socially focused, like very much what Jesus taught. And I still agree with what Jesus taught. I don't necessarily believe that he's like a Messiah and that he's going to come back and take people to heaven or whatever. But I think for us as a band, like, when we listen to those songs, they almost feel a little just like they're not how we are now. So it's almost, for me personally, it's tough to listen to it and be like, and it just makes me seem like I was immature when I wrote that, you know, which is a natural progression. I mean, I can't even listen to the first record. I think it's kind of natural though. You know, I don't like to listen to stuff I've done because I just hate it too much, you know. But as a band, I mean, I think we're all on the same page now that everybody's going to be themselves regardless. Everyone is equal. No one has anything more figured out than the other person, you know, because there's so much that we don't know to speak with certainty about the origin of humanity or the final destination of humanity is completely ignorant. So, like, we're basing our band off that truth, you know, and constantly encouraging everyone else to seek truth too, like real truth, not just the media-fed bullshit truth. I just was kind of overwhelmed with the water crisis that's happening, and we wanted to, our last record was very like action-based, and we still back that 100%. But we wanted to like give people an opportunity to like come together and do something. So we started fundraising to do water projects in developing nations through charitywater.org. They're like a gnarly company. They have done millions and millions of dollars and stuff, and they've done a ton of work overseas in sub-Saharan Africa and South America and stuff like that. And so we just wanted to give people an opportunity to help us out and just to, you know, do something actually, you know, rather than just talking about it or singing along with us about it. So we have like two projects going on, and one is in India and one is in South America. As we started to do it, and as we started to like delve more into the topic of water and why the crisis exists, we realized that it's not really, it's actually like power's fault, because those nations were in debt, and the federal bank said, hey, we'll get you out of debt, but we're going to charge you interest that you can't pay. And they were like, well, we don't have any other options. So what did they starve them of their resources, and through debt they became slaves, and then now they're living in absolute slums. And it's just a mass inequality. It's fucked, man. That whole system and how it happened is crazy. So if I can encourage anyone to look into it, like, look into that. It's crazy. One of our friends at home, and like one of my good friends at home, we just kind of were talking about it one day, and I think we decided this would be cool. Like, this is one of the biggest things going on in the world right now, and no one's talking about it, you know? There's celebrities who are doing some things here and there, and that's cool that they are, and it's like, if they're doing it and nothing's happening, then something else has to happen, you know? And we did it. I mean, yeah, we were a tiny band in the grand scheme of things, but I think we just wanted to do something, and we just had to do something, you know? We felt obligated to, you know, bring about some sort of change in that area. And, you know, while it's small, you know, there's obviously going to be like 500 to 750 people who didn't have water before, and now they have, you know, a water technology implemented into their village, and they have water, you know, and that's step one to surviving. That's basic necessity. So, and then, you know, hopefully other organizations will come in through microfinancing or, you know, stuff like that. But it's definitely tough to try to figure out. It's such a huge problem, and we're such a small band. So, I mean, it's tough to not feel overwhelmed, you know, and like a complete underdog. Not that our band is going to change the world, you know, but if we can, you know, convince a couple people that use your life to do something, you know, for people who can't stand up for themselves, then I guess we existed for a reason.